Some folk never, and some folk hardly ever lose. But here we are, we're all a part of all this, and it all goes around and life is like a school where some folk they never lose. And here we are, some of us wise and some are fools, and it all goes around and around, sailing in space, getting time, endlessly spinning around, and with each brand new day, we leave something behind, and it all goes around and around and what goes around comes around, and what was left gets found, and here we are, much wiser now than we were then, and it all goes around and around, no way to turn back the time, endlessly spinning around, and with each brand new day, we leave some youth behind, and it all goes around and around, and it all goes around and around, and it all goes around and
Holy moly.
Whatever happened to that kid? Wow.
Boy, that sounded good, didn't it?
Oh, Danny Sawyer on guitar. Oh,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful, most beautiful guest, Mike Campbell.
I get
It was hard to use adjectives to describe you today,
My
but
wife had the same problem.
mostly because I kept thinking that you're a friend to everybody. And I mean, there's a lot of people who know you and love you. And that just kept coming up in my mind. So, and I was like, well, I can't say that over and over again, but maybe I could, I don't know. But yeah, you have a lot of people who adore you across the world.
I'm a very lucky person. I really am.
One is on here, Kate Reed.
Oh, Kate Reed. What a
She's-
singer. What a lovely human being.
I know. She said the goat.
Well, see, you send the check, they cash the check. All of a sudden, I'm the goat. She's just a beautiful human being. Wow, I love her.
She's great. Yeah. So Mike Campbell, wow. So I've known you for years, and I know a bit of your history, but I'm sure I don't know a huge amount. But I do know certain things. But um, I would like to start at the beginning with you. I don't always start at the beginning with people, but with you.
Am I supposed to remember something? Wait,
Oh, ooh. Well, I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah, gosh, I feel like you're from Connecticut, but is that not true?
that's not true.
Okay,
Yeah,
where
come on. I'm
where
in
are you from?
Hollywood, California.
Oh, God, did I know? I don't know if I knew that really.
Time you did
At one time I did.
and stuff.
Did I really?
Well, I'm sure.
I don't know. I mean, I remember Barbara Brighton's from here, Judy Wexler's from here, Gary's from here, but you don't, as you know, you don't often run into people from here.
There's 12 others.
12.
I
Yeah.
was born in California.
So did you go to Hollywood High?
I would have, but we moved out to the San Fernando Valley. We
Oh,
got Van Nuys, our first house,
yeah.
and I was 9, and it was 1953, and it was like moving to another part of the world. I mean, the San Fernando Valley was wide open. There were like ranches, and
Oh God, yeah.
it was amazing. We couldn't sleep. None of us could sleep the first night. It was so quiet. It kept us awake. It was amazing. Yes, and then in the valley forever until I retired, and then we moved on to Newport Beach.
Yeah, yeah, you were.
Perfect Newport Beach.
Oh yeah, man. So, siblings?
I have a brother, my brother Dudley, who was a drummer,
Oh,
wise enough to become a psychologist, and
older or younger?
he is older. I never let him forget it. He's the one who, besides, certainly being an incredible older brother, he really led me from swing and rock and roll to jazz.
Oh,
I love Benny Goodman, Basie, Ellington, all of that. But he's the one who turned me on to Miles and Monk, and those. I mean, it was like I vividly remember the first time he played Monk for me. Blakey and the Jazz Messengers featuring Thelonious Monk. First tune on the album was Evidence, and I started laughing. Ignorant, I mean, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was the Darlene Edwards, in disguise. So, my God, I could do that. I could just sit there and hit notes. Come on. But he really turned me on to bebop and that world.
When did the penny drop? What did you say?
Never forgive him.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know that feeling. When did the penny drop like that? You went, oh, jazz. Yeah, I really like Thelonious Monk. Yeah, I can dig him.
It took me a while to get into Thelonious Monk. Except when I heard other people singing some of his music, it was like, wow. Well, I guess as long as he doesn't play it, I'm good. I like this. But I loved it immediately, especially Miles.
Yeah.
And then I discovered Mark Murphy and Lambert Hendrickson Ross. And just, it's like, wow, this was a whole nother world. Because I was a fan of show business. My dad was in show business. He was a drummer, but he was also an actor and a professional dancer and sang a bit. And
yeah.
So we grew up. We never missed. We never missed the Sullivan Show or Perry Como or all those shows. We loved them.
Yeah.
And so I was a huge fan growing up. But I was, it was Ella and it was Sinatra and Mel Torme and Vic Damone, Matt Monroe, those kind of singers that I loved and sort of, tried to emulate alone in my room, I was
That was such a distinct time in entertainment. I mean, that's basically how I grew up too. You know, my dad was a sax player, right? And my mom had been a singer, and my sisters, they were 4 years older than me, and they sang and I sang, and you know, but that group of people that you just mentioned, that was what was happening at that time, and it was cool. It was, you know, the Clark Burrow and the high-lows. The high-lows, we were in love with the high-lows and the Four Freshmen.
Time I heard the high-lows, my God.
Oh my God, right?
I heard Take Six. I mean, it was that kind of epiphany.
Yeah,
Oh my God, what is this?
yeah,
There were the Four Freshmen who were cool.
yeah.
But now,
Not as cool as the high-lows, but we didn't know at that time, right? And Rosemary Clooney and, you know, Peggy Lee and, you know, because it was actually kind of pop, but it was intelligent pop, you know, it was like,
it was intelligent pop. And
music.
of course, they all swung.
Yeah,
So
right.
we're doing the Great American Songbook, except, I mean, people like Patti Page, you know, she had hit records,
Yeah,
but she was a wonderful singer.
yeah,
Everybody could sing and you know, I mean, there were no, I think one of the big things was that everybody could sing.
yeah,
That was it. You weren't dancing around the stage. You weren't doing backflips. You stood there and you sang, and you had to sing. There were, I mean, just great voices everywhere. And then, of course, when rock came in, it all changed. Now it was more of all the other stuff, the excitement, the energy, the
Right.
dancing, you know, all that stuff.
yeah. But yeah,
But
and
do all that stuff, so it didn't matter.
were you, well, you play guitar. Were you, at that point, were you a guitar player or were you a singer or both?
I started guitar for two reasons. I wanted to accompany myself. I was only singing in my room. I didn't sing in high school. I was totally sports. I was
Oh,
I'm in my high school Hall of Fame. I'm not just a pretty face, Cathy.
wow, I didn't know that. I'm impressed now.
In my room, and I thought, wow, I want to accompany myself. And I really started on a $13 Stella from Sears.
Wow.
I never had thoughts about being a guitar player.
Yeah.
I just wanted to accompany myself and girls.
I'm proud of you that you admitted that. I'm very proud. Hi, John Prue.
And what a talented guy he is.
Very talented and wonderful person.
Sweetheart, yeah.
So, okay, so guitar, you picked up the guitar, but you were singing and you wanted to accompany yourself. So guitar players, I mean, you became a really good guitar player, jazz guitar player. So I'm wondering at
Thank
which
you for that forever. Thank you for that. Even though it's not true, I thank you for that.
Well, I mean, okay, maybe you're not Joe Diorio, but you're a great player, you know. I mean, you didn't have a guitar career like a full-on guitar career, right?
Right. I never actually played in a band.
Wow, really?
Played myself.
Wow.
And there was a guy out of Chicago named Johnny Janis. You ever heard that name?
I don't think so.
Geez, he was just a beautiful singer and guitar player. He at one time was a guitar player who didn't sing. He was Victor Moan's guitar player, and we were in the service together.
Oh.
A great singer, who later became down the line my agent.
Jeez.
Very, very good friends. He was a great singer. I've got all his albums. His first album was produced by Don Costa.
Oh, wow.
And he's just great player, great singer. And I said, wow,
Huh.
that's really sort of what drove me guitar-wise, is because he was top of the line guitar player.
Oh.
And then I heard Kenny Rankin in 1962 on I think the Carson Show. And that was a whole nother epiphany of, wow, he was amazing in his playing. And he wasn't a lead player, he was an accompanist. And
Yeah.
those two guys really inspired me.
Yeah.
Then Frank Derone was another one. I went to see him on Sunset. God, it had to be in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
And he blew me away because he was a great guitar player and singer. So yeah, I wanted to, that was kind of.
That was how it came up. Guess who else is here? I went to college with him, Jim Fox.
Oh my God, I've got Jim's albums. Talk about a great chord melody player, great guitar player. Yeah, Jim's a great cat. Beautiful musician.
Yeah. So yeah, Kenny Rankin. I remember when Scott Yanow and I went to see Kenny Rankin, 300 years ago, at that, I think it was a UCLA theater near the VA hospital in Westwood. You know that theater?
Show there. Oh, that's a wonderful theater.
Beautiful theater.
It's on VA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was doing, not only was he doing Brazilian music, but he was singing in his baritone. I had never heard him sing in his baritone voice, and it was friggin' gorgeous.
Oh yeah, he had an amazing instrument.
Oh,
He was my first experience seeing him live was a little club on Ventura Boulevard out in Reseda. And I went and it was literally me and like one other couple.
oh my God.
And he was still into his drug life, and
Yeah.
he was such a jerk. Such a jerk. I still loved him. But then I have a friend who was a very close friend of his, and through the years she kept saying, Mike, he's totally through that. He's you got to go see him again. You got to give him another chance. I said, well, okay, because I was still a fan vocally.
Yeah.
And he apologized to the entire audience before every show. Say, if I have met you in my previous,
Oh my God.
I apologize.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was quite a thing.
Wow. I knew a bass player who played with him often. And I guess in a certain period of time, I guess in the drug days, because he told me about when they would get on a tiny little plane to go somewhere to play and get in, and the whole plane was totally filled with smoke, and they'd get out, this whole puff of smoke. And
Well, sadly, he was a mess.
yeah.
Just kind of crazed. But boy, what a
Oh gosh,
player, what a singer. That instrument was phenomenal.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, okay. Hi, Toby Simmons. So you let's see, you were in high school, because your career is really interesting, and I really want to know what led you along. So you're in high school,
Yeah.
you're into music. Do you decide to go to college, or do you audition for one of those great groups and get in? What happens?
Well, sort of all of the above. It was the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Of course, I barely graduated U.S. Grant High School in Van Nuys. Sheila Weinstein, I love you. Thank you. She did a final project for me. The teacher, it was nice to say, Campbell, I know you didn't do this, but I'm going to give you a D to get you out of here.
Oh gosh.
Not proud of it, but that's who I was. And so I had to stay in school.
Yeah.
Deferment, that kind of a thing. And
Yeah.
went to LA Valley College, just across the street from Grant High School. I started in phys ed. I was playing football, and my nose was broken. I cracked 3 ribs.
Oh gosh.
There's timeout.
Yeah.
There's got to be an easier way. Switched to sociology. Then I switched to music.
Uh-huh.
And in '65, a young lady, I had just switched to music, and I was taking my first music classes there. And a young lady was in the class who was gorgeous. So I immediately sat down next to her. And we started talking, and I asked her out. And I knew her brother from Grant High School.
Oh my gosh.
And we just sort of knew that we're going to be friends. We were in choir together also. And it was Ollie Mershon McCracken, who is like my sister. That's who I stay with in New York, and have her and Hugh McCracken were family to Elaine and I forever. I mean, I knew the whole family.
Yeah.
Dad was a wonderful singer who sadly died young.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went to New York, we always stayed with Holly and Hugh. And I go every year, obviously not that last year, but every year. And I stay with Holly, and we just hang and see shows and eat and talk and sing and make music and have fun. And yeah, she's like my sister. And she asked me to audition for the group she was in. And I said, well, how many are in it? She goes, well, right now we got about 100. I said, oh God, you must, oh God, no. No. And then she called me, let me know they were going to be on the Red Skelton show. It was their first gig.
Wow.
So I watched it, and they had 30. I immediately picked up the phone. I said, can you still give me an audition? And she said, yeah, of course. She got me an audition, and I got in the group, and they cut it to 20.
Oh, wow.
And we were finishing up. It was finals time in June. And we were getting we had started doing TV shows. We did Dick Cabot's first show. And
What was the name of the group?
the Doodletown Pipers.
Oh, right. The Doodletown Pipers. Yeah, man.
Roger Miller called us the Poodletown Pipers. We're semi-regulars on his show. He loved us, and we loved him. He got me in, and I was number 21. We were going to Reno to open for George Burns and Laney Kazan. And one of the guys in the group was in the National Guard, and he got called up like 3 weeks before we were going to open. And I mean, they couldn't take me. And all of a sudden, I was in the group, and Dan Darling, wonderful singer, was in the National Guard, being called up. And that's how I started my wonderful mediocre career.
Now that probably, I think I have, do you think the Doodletown Pipers are on YouTube? I think they are.
They are.
Let me, what year would it be?
We did our first summer series, 1967, Our Place. There is a complete show on YouTube, and then there's other bits. And
I'm going to show you this, and you just kind of, I mean,
we are right there.
Which one?
Our Place. Here's Jane.
Our Place right here.
Yeah, here's Music to Watch Girls By. But probably, Our Place.
I've been sitting here.
What a great guy, a great talent, huh?
Looking down the road and wondering where it goes. I've gotta know where the road goes. I think I'll get me up and walk down the road. I'm walking.
Okay, so the Doodletown Pipers are coming in now.
I'm walking.
I'm getting one go.
What you doing, me? What you doing there? I'm walking down the road. What you wanna walk for? Walking makes you tired. You got a better way. Sure. Build us a wheel and we don't need to walk no more. Come on along and we'll roll down the road. We'll roll. Oh, that's so
Showbiz.
You're gonna have to point out yourself.
Okay, I had hair.
What you doing there? We're rolling down the road. That'll get you down, but how do you get up the road? I never thought of that. We got a thing we think you like. We call it a bike. Come on along and we'll cycle up the road. Yes, indeed. Cycling along, cycling along, cycling along, cycling along,
That's not me. Next to Teresa Gray.
What did you say?
That's Holly Mershon McCracken and Teresa Graves from Laugh In. And I'm behind Teresa.
Okay.
I go.
All right. Okay. The drive down the road thing. Okay, so that is the Doodle Pipers, and I mean, there's how long were you with the Doodle Pipers? Long time.
Middletown Pipers,
Doodletown
almost 4 years.
4 years.
We did. I mean, I always love to say I got in. I was lucky enough to get in at
Yeah.
the end of show business.
Huh.
I got to work with all my idols. Got to work with Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald. We did a Sullivan show with.
Wow.
Got to hang with Ella Fitzgerald for a week.
Wow.
Mel Torme, did a couple of gigs with him. I mean, it was certainly an experience that will never happen again.
Yeah. When you would do those shows, who was the vocal arranger?
George Wilkins, he owned half the group, and George, as I just talked to George. George is 87. He's still writing.
Wow.
He's amazing. He was a mentor to me and a great friend through all these years.
Did you say he owned half the group?
Yeah, he owned half, and the choreographer Ward Ellis owned the other half.
Oh, I see.
Then when things really took off,
Yeah.
Jerry Weintraub and Bernie Brillstein and their partner Marty Kummer, the three of them at the time were known as Management 3. They came in and they owned a third of the group. They bought a third of the group. And that's when we just started. That's when we got the TV series that Ed Sullivan produced. We did almost 40 shows. We did Jerry Lewis show, Red Skelton shows, Phyllis Diller, John Davidson, all kinds of shows. My favorite one was a thing called Rodgers and Hart Today. Bobby Darin, Petula Clark, Supremes, Mamas and the Papas, Count Basie and the Orchestra,
God.
great dancer choreographer Peter Gennaro, and Quincy Jones was the musical director. And it was an hour show on NBC with no dialogue, just an hour of Rodgers and Hart.
Wow.
It just was an unbelievable experience.
Wow. I wonder if that can be seen. I won't show it now, but can that be seen on YouTube, do you think?
I think there's like a number like that Bobby did on the show. I think that's on. Maybe one of the things Petula did, maybe one of the things the Mamas and Papas did. The Mamas and Papas were so smart, although they were high and drunk all the time. Cass was the greatest. She was a sweetheart. God, we had lunch together one day. Wonderful. They recorded, they said, sound in those days on television.
Yeah.
So you want it louder, you want it softer. That was sound in television those days. So they wouldn't do it live.
Yeah.
They got it in their contract. If they recorded the 3 or 4 songs they did on the show at their record company, it was ABC Dunhill, I think they were on at the time.
Yeah.
They did it at CBS with their musicians, the crew, and they owned the masters.
Wow.
And they had a couple of hit records out of that show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was, yeah, they were, boy, they were a kick. They were a trip.
Wow. So while you were in the Doodletown Pipers, is that where you met Elaine?
Elaine actually replaced my girlfriend in the Doodletown Pipers. And
Here they are.
this is my honey. There she is.
Oh, God. Gorgeous. Both of you are gorgeous. I love this picture so much. Really beautiful.
Oh, she was, yeah. Great singer, too. Great singer.
Yeah.
You know, she did like opera and musical theater.
Uh-huh.
She auditioned for the group and they took her. In fact, George Wilkins, we were in Vegas, and George Wilkins came in between shows one night and said, Mike, this is like everybody's in, you know, reapplying their makeup and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah. And he said, I just hired a girl you're going to love. I said, whoa, really? And for me, it was love at first sight. For
Wow.
her, maybe around year 9 or 10, she was going, oh, well, what the I guess I'm stuck, you know. You know, we had 48 and a half years.
Yeah, a long time. 2 gorgeous daughters from it.
Incredible daughters.
Yeah, yeah.
Much
Talent.
better singers than I was that time.
Oh my God. You're a fantastic singer. I mean, that song that we played first, what was that? Well, how many records have you made? What, a few?
Well, about 9, I think 8 or 9.
9?
I think so.
God, I didn't know that. Where's your website, man?
They're re-releasing, ITI is re-releasing, it's like a conglomeration of different tunes.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming out on disc. It's been out on download, but this is the other 2 with ITI. They've released Blackberry Winter and Close Enough for Love. Those 2 albums were on disc and download.
Yeah.
This one, I Love You in 3/4 Time, was just on download, and now it's coming out on disc. I think this month or August.
What was the time span of your recordings? Was it a long time or short time?
1982 to about 1994, I think, something like that.
Uh-huh. So that was quite a number of CDs or recordings that you put in that time.
I work cheap.
Don't we all?
As long as they fed me, I was, you know, I'm good, you know.
Hey, Jessica Vautor.
Oh my God, Jessica. Wow. There's a wonderful, lovely, talented human being.
Very, very.
She was a student of ours at MI. She just came over from France. She's terrific. Wow.
Yeah, she used to come to the jam session. You know, she was very dear friends with Eddie Olivieri, the Italian pianist. That was fun to have her there. It's like, wow, great singer. You know, when she showed up, she was always great. So back to your recordings. Did you? I can't remember if you composed songs.
I did a few.
Uh-huh.
I did on the first album. I had 3 songs, I think.
Uh-huh.
Second album, I had 1 or 2. Writing was not like a passion for me.
Yeah.
It was too hard. And you know, you're in a room alone a lot, so it's
And that's not your MO.
nah.
Dan Davila, he's so funny. He has posted a list of recordings from All Music of you. You look stunned. Okay, I'll just show it to you. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this is you. This correct Mike Campbell. Is this you? Or is this the other guy?
What am I looking at here? Glasses?
It looks like Well, but this one is this you, Secret Family, or is that the other guy?
Secret Fantasy, that's me. Let's Get Away from It All, is
No,
me.
this says Secret Family.
Oh, well, it should be.
Oh, it says Secret Fantasy here.
Okay. Yeah, these are all me. These are all me.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Which one?
Well, I mean, I'm not a computer guy really, so.
Oh, yeah, this is all music. It kind of lists artists, and it's been around for a long time, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I like Jessica says that you really helped her get out of her shell.
Well, that's what we tried to do.
You did that, I think, for a lot of young singers. I think you did that. And I want to talk about that, but I do want to say hi, Jim Liska. Wow.
Oh my God, Liska. Liska produced my first album. Jim produced Secret Fantasy.
There you go, Jim.
We've always been in close contact. He's amazing, an amazing man.
I haven't heard your name, Jim, for a long time, but I know it very well. But I'm so glad to see you here. Really nice. So you were recording. You said you never played a gig on guitar, correct?
A gig?
Is that what you said?
No, I did a single and a duo and a trio doing.
Oh, with a band.
Yeah, with a band. I never was like the guitar player in a band.
Oh, okay.
To learn by my mistakes and all of that and play lead. I never
Okay.
had the opportunity. But I did a single and duo and trio for years. Clubs.
Yeah.
When there were clubs. And you would work I worked 8.5 months, 7 nights a week. I had a 5-nighter at one club and a 2-nighter at another club.
Those were the days.
Oh my God, those were the days. There were thousands of clubs from San Diego to San Francisco, and chains. There was the Jolly Roger and all these different chains you could work at. The Jolly Ox,
the Turtle. Something Turtle?
Oh yeah, something Turtle. I think I did the one down at the airport.
Yeah. So
it was almost hard to be out of work.
I know, that was the day. Sherry Williams always comes to my mind too, because she was like one of the classiest singers I had ever heard, like alive and in, kind of in the community. I was like, wow.
And just gorgeous.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering right, she started in the Young Americans.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, that's where Ward Ellis and George Wilkins started. They were the choreographer and the music director for the Young Americans. And then they decided to put their own group together.
I see.
The Doodletown Pipers came about.
Yeah, you're right. She was in the Young Americans. I remember that. Yeah. Interesting. Jim Liska says, by produced, it meant I brought the donuts.
Just yeah.
You know who comes to mind too, and probably is on one or more of those records, is Tom Garvin, right?
Tom Garvin. A day does not go by that I do not think of Tom Garvin.
Really? You know what he said to me once? I wrote it down. I will never forgot it. He said, I've never regretted what I've done. I've only regretted what I haven't done.
Oh, wow.
So smart, right?
Yeah. I think that's, I'm a complete believer in that. We have to follow our dreams. We have to follow our heart. You don't want to, hit 60 or 70 and look back and go, geez, why didn't I do that? Why?
No.
You just, it's certainly reality comes into it sooner, hopefully sooner. And then you have, really difficult decisions. I think you would probably agree with this. That the hardest part of teaching is when they ask that god awful question. So, yeah, can I make a living at this? Well,
Well.
you know, I mean, of course, I'm older than you are, but I mean, I came up at a time when, yes, you could make a living.
Yeah,
You know, I paid for a house,
yeah,
working 7 nights a week, but you know, I made my house payment.
yep.
And the house cost $36,000, so it's not even a down payment on a condo anymore. But in those days, you could work, and there was a lot of work, and it's you have to follow your heart. But then again, as I say, you know, reality comes in. You've got a decision to make whether, you know, I got a call from a dear friend about a month ago who shall remain nameless, saying, I just never thought I'd be this age, barely being able to pay for a studio apartment and
Uh,
food on the table at night, hanging on with bloody nails. I mean, obviously, some of it has to do with the pandemic, but
yeah,
he's a jazz player,
yeah,
and he will not do like pop gigs or anything like that.
yeah.
That's number one, incredible commitment, but wow, you know, I like eating regularly. I do. And it's just so incredibly difficult.
Yeah, very.
It seems impossible now.
Yeah.
Beyonce, or you're starving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as with so many things right now, this whole last year or two really has you considering what is important in life and what you can live with, what you can't live without.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much. In fact, it's funny. I mean, this is kind of a slightly a left arm on this subject, but I was just watching a very unbelievably sane video on COVID and vaccinations. It was so sane. It was like, I really felt calm listening to it. It was great. Anyway, but he said, I don't really believe in taking the vaccine. He said, but if it's a gun, or take the vaccine, like, or if you can't see your children, or take the vaccine, or if you can't work, or take the vaccine, you know? and so it was really cool, you know. It's just, I mean, he had a different point of view of building up your immune system, which is really crucial if you take the vaccine or if you don't. But it's that kind of thing. It's like, you know, do you want the bullet? Is the bullet like more important than this, you know, the art, only the art, or get a job, you know?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And, you know, so many people have been talking about it or thinking about it this year, especially, you know.
Yeah, of course. I thank God I'm the age I am. You know,
Yeah.
I would hate to be, you know, 40 years old in the middle of this, trying to figure this all out. I mean, it hardly matters what your career is. It's got to be horrifying.
Yeah.
Did you have a plan B as a young person? I didn't have a plan B.
You know, for me, just overall, the first thing that I wanted to be that was not a musician, because I always wanted to be a singer, yeah, like from day one, you know, but was I forget the name of it. Oh my God, hole in the brain. Animal doctor, veterinarian. Whoa. So I wanted to be a veterinarian. For some reason, I dropped that out. And then over the years, I had various straight jobs. You know, I waitress and, you know, office worker. But everything I ever did became kind of boring after a while. And I just figured even self-created jobs like selling something and becoming the big salesman for something, it was like, well, why not just do that for music? Because I love to do music. So pretty early, I mean, not that I didn't do side jobs, but I I think when I was married to Gus, that's when I started teaching, and Sunny left town and she gave me a few students. And then I started teaching, and then it was pretty much teaching and singing from then on. So that was a long time ago.
Oh God, I'm teaching. It's changed my life, saved my life,
Yeah.
made my life better. All of the above. Just so incredibly lucky that that was thrown at me. You know, I got that. I had never had a thought of teaching, not a thought.
Really?
And I did. I opened the 1982 IAJE. Then it was in the NAJE
Oh,
convention in Kansas City,
yeah.
and Dick Grove was there,
Uh-huh.
and a guy named Jack Wheaton, Dr. Jack Wheaton, had just moved to LA,
Yeah.
and Dick had just hired him to be sort of the business person at the Dick Grove School of Music.
Oh,
And I knew Jack because we had the same PR person, Marty Morgan.
oh gosh, yeah.
And the Dick Grove vocal department had just exploded, and Dick was hired the vocal department chair and was going to eliminate the vocal school.
Oh,
Jack said, no. And they saw me open it up with the Army Blues Band, which was a wonderful band. And Jack said, this is your program director right here.
huh.
And I knew Dick only to say hello. I'd taken some classes at the school,
Yeah.
and somebody's doing a gig outside.
Sorry, it's my the gardeners.
Oh,
Okay.
don't stop them. So that's how it started. And I was going to turn it down because I had no thought of teaching. And Elaine, thank God, said, give it a shot. You might like it. And if you don't, then you quit. And it, changed my life, our lives.
Yeah.
It brought me, I always said, I learn more from my students than they learn from me.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So Dick Grove, for people listening, a lot of people listening probably went to Dick Grove, knew you from Dick Grove, but Dick Grove was an arranger, right? Composer, arranger.
One of the major arrangers in television recording.
Why on earth did he decide to start a school?
Dick was a teacher first and foremost.
Huh.
He also couldn't stand the business.
Oh,
I mean, this guy had a huge house at south of the boulevard. He had a Rolls Royce.
oh my God.
So successful. And he won a Grammy for Little Byrd. Remember Pete Jolly? Dick composed that and arranged that and won a Grammy, the best jazz recording. And he just was burnt out on the business and wanted to teach, wanted to write, wanted to get his theories. And talk about a guy putting his money where his mouth was. I've certainly never known a guy like Dick Grove. He lost it all, sadly. But he never stopped teaching. He never stopped writing.
He lost what all?
The
He
house,
lost the school. Oh, really?
the family, the whole.
What happened?
He put it all into the school.
Oh,
Sadly, a horrendous businessman. As most of us are. Dick, we literally, my God, there was money kept in a shoebox for a while.
God.
That shoebox got empty. Whoa. Yeah, he just knew nothing about
Wow. There was somebody, gosh, over the year, I cannot remember who it was. Somebody was the school's, what do you call it? The guy who cleaned, a janitor for a while, and lived actually in the bottom of the school. He was a musician. Do you know who that was?
I'm guessing it was Gary Coleman. Gary was a bass player. He lives in Switzerland now. Been in Switzerland for years.
Gary Coleman, you said?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. He videoed all of Dick's cap classes, which you can buy. Dirk Smith, I think. Forgot Dirk's last name. but he runs Music Without Walls. Dick runs Music Without Walls.
Oh, I have to write that down.
And they've got all the videos. So it's a,
Yeah.
this CAP program was absolutely, I still think probably the best program in the nation.
Wow.
God, they had to write a chart a week, different style, and Dick would have an orchestra in. Not the A players,
Yeah.
studios, but and they had to also conduct their chart.
Uh-huh.
And each week, one week it was a rock chart, one week it was a jazz chart, one week it was a waltz, one week it was a Broadway chart. It was just a great program, and it was a fantastic school if it ever would have been run with any kind of business sense.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't go. I don't know what I was doing. I guess I was working all the time. What years was it?
I was there 82 to 92.
82 to 92. Well, I was with I was with Gus, and I was working at keeping us survived. So maybe that's why I didn't actually go, or I didn't go over there very much. But anyway, yeah, that was a really renowned school. And so your job was head of the vocal department, or what was your job?
I was the program director for the vocal department.
Yeah.
Really wonderful, gorgeous, brilliant Sue Rainey.
Sue Rainey, yeah.
Still one of the great loves of my life. I mean, I've been in love with her since I was 12.
Well, no wonder. Gorgeous and an unbelievable singer. So, and kind and beautiful and sweet. Yeah. I know. You want to kill Carmen, right? Do away with him. I'll just step right in.
So hired on the same day.
Yeah.
And pretty sure Dick knew Sue. But he didn't really know me. Just sort of like I said, hi, kind of a thing. And me, I had my meeting first with Dick and Jack. And we finished the meeting, and Sue's meeting was right after that. And so I'm walking out as she's coming in, and Jack says, Mike, I'd like to introduce you to Sue Rainey. And she said, oh my God, I've always wanted to have your baby. Thank God. And she's who is still one of my dearest, closest friends.
Yeah.
Just talk about somebody who should have been a star.
Yeah, no kidding.
She hugged the audience. She was so warm on stage. Wow.
Absolutely. And just a gorgeous, gorgeous voice. And yeah, she's really beautiful. When I was first in town, I worked at Dante's as a waitress.
I remember.
Yeah. And she would sing there, like with Alan Broadbent and whomever. And I just remember her doing, it wasn't one of those songs, that has many, I don't know if that was it. Something like that. Anyway, yeah. And I was just like,
Like Gravy Waltz?
No. More like,
The Michel Legrand thing?
No.
That wasn't the melody either.
It was, it's a song that's not done a lot. There's a lot of notes in it, kind of a linear, like, what's that? I'm trying to, what?
Windmills of my mind.
No, like, what is this song? What is that?
Waltz.
No, Gravy Waltz is da 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 da.
Oh, right.
It's I forget.
We have no memory whatsoever.
It's great.
That melody you're singing.
I know, I forget it.
Titles.
Yeah, Linda Smith is here, and she said you're one of her favorite singers. Plus, you can scat your hiney off. And her son Darian would ask her to play your CD in the car.
Oh, Smitty, I what a kick. We met at the Money Tree.
Jitterbug Waltz. Thanks, Stan.
Jitterbug Waltz. Thank you, Smitty. There's at least a memory between the three of us.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that.
Well, I did too at one time.
So Dan, he actually gave us Blackberry Winter on YouTube. I don't know if that will. Let's see. It's ITI. I wonder. I don't think it would take me off. I have to watch licensing. I don't know if ITI. I mean, it's probably not like a real video. It's like pictures of you and various things with ITI on there. I'm not sure, but let me play. I'm going to play Spotify.
Have Dat there.
Let's see. I remember that. Yeah, Dat Dare or Blackberry Winter. What do you think?
Well, Blackberry Winter is my favorite song, but I'd rather hear Dat Dare because I just love Garvin's arrangement of Dat Dare.
Okay. So Tom Garvin was, Tom Garvin was an amazing pianist. He spent a lot of his years here in LA, and he was divine. He was a divine accompanist, like Lou Matthews. Those two guys. I always refer to them as and Ross Tompkins, just divine accompanists for a singer, and great arranger and dear friend of Mike's, and good friend of mine, and passed away a number of years ago. But his musicality was so amazing. I'll let you tell about it afterwards, but here's Dat Dare.
Daddy, what that there? And why that under there? And oh daddy, oh hey daddy, hey looking over there. Hey, where they going there? And what they doing there? And daddy, can I have that big elephant over there? Hey, who that in my chair? And what she doing there? And oh daddy, oh hey daddy, can I go over there? Hey, daddy, what's a square? And where do we get air? And daddy, can I have a big elephant over there?
My quizzical kid, man, he doesn't want anything hid. He's forever demanding to know who, what, and why, and where. Inquisitive child, and sometimes the questions are wild. Like daddy, can I have a big elephant over there?
Don't wanna comb my hair. And where my teddy bear? And oh daddy, oh hey, look at that cowboy coming there. Hey, can I have a pair of boots like that to wear? And daddy, can I have that big elephant over there?
time will march the years, we'll go, the little fella's gonna grow. I gotta tell him what he needs to know, help him along so he'll know right from wrong, gotta make him strong. As life's parade goes trudging by, he'll need to know some reasons why I don't have all the answers, but I'll try best that I can, gonna help him to plan so he'll be glad. Give your kid your best, and hope will pass the test when you finally send him out into the world somewhere. When he's grown up, then he never will forget, Daddy, can I have that big elephant over there? Hey, Daddy, what that there? And why that under there? And oh, Daddy, oh, hey, Daddy, hey, look at over there. Hey, where they going there? And what they doing there? And Daddy, can I have that big elephant over there? Oh, Daddy, can I have the elephant? Well, how about some candy? Why? 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 Hey, what that over there?
That was a great version. Was that Tom Peterson, by the way, on sax? Who was it?
That was Shep. It was Bob Shepard.
Really? Wow, long time ago.
Yeah.
God, Shep. He's so great.
I love that solo. I felt like he got what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
I loved what he did. I absolutely.
yeah. He's just so great. I actually heard him. You know who was in town this week? Bob Bowman.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he played on my little gig on Saturday, and then Sunday they had like a little concert. Him and Pat Coyle,
Whoa.
who also played on my gig, and Steve Houghton,
Oh my God.
and Bob Shepard, Larry Kuntz, and Clay Jenkins. They're recording this week, and it was what a concert. And Bob Shepard, he just keeps being more and more delicious. He's just, well, all of them were. Oh, and Josh Nelson. I'm sorry, Pat Coyle was not in this concert. Pat Coyle played on my gig, but Josh Nelson was in this concert. Each one of them was totally divine. I was in heaven, but I mean, you know, each one of them did amazing things. Clay Jenkins, he has like a whole friggin' universe that he operates in that is absolutely different. And yeah,
So
wow.
different.
It was
So many of my tunes that just, it was on the Stevie Wonder tune. Give them a brighter star.
yeah,
He plays a solo that is so magnificently out
yeah.
and wonderful and musical, and oh yeah, I love Clay Jenkins.
He's really a unique player. Yeah. He played the solo on one of Larry's beautiful tunes. I forget the name of it. Song for somebody, Abbey Air or something. Anyway, the solo he took, it was exactly like you said. It was so out magnificently. It was so in the outness, you know, and his tone is gorgeous. And it's just like your head feels like it's like, you know, opening up. Really great.
He's just a beautiful cat.
Oh, totally adorable.
Beautiful, yeah.
But each one of them was brilliant. And Bob Bowman sounded so great. Oh God.
Heard him forever.
Yeah. It was really beautiful.
Garvin, we had a 40-year relationship. I mean, he lived with us for till I had to throw him out. I loved him like a brother.
Yeah.
Very few people could make me as mad as Tom Garvin. You know, he had more demons in a small city. So it's just
Yeah.
As the thing about Tom, another guy who kills me is Bill Lorre.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love Bill Lorre's playing.
Yeah, Bill Lorre.
And they're both from Richmond.
Oh, yeah.
Just, yeah, they love working with singers.
Yeah.
And you know, not all that many piano players love working with singers. And our reputation precedes us. But those guys, wow, Tom Garvin brought me to tears more than any musician in my life.
Huh.
Just, he would play stuff it was so astoundingly beautiful and emotional and passionate. And
yeah, I remember the feeling of being absolutely carried by him.
Yeah.
You know, like there are some times when you're singing with a musician and it's like it's almost shocking, right? Because you realize that they're right here, you know. And yeah, and he was like that. He was
one of my favorite Tom Garvin moments.
Yeah.
We're at I think it's a Jazz Bakery, singing a song, and it's got a key change in it. And for whatever reason, I was going to a different key. He got there before I did and caught me, just like you said, caught me, held me, and carried me on. I mean, you know, we were together so long and so much, half the time we didn't even have to speak. We just knew. Felt like, you know, Mantan Moreland doing that old routine. Did you ever know? I didn't know, but I went to, oh, really? Did you go, you know, know each other's thoughts. And yeah, he was amazing. He caught me. And I remember asking him after the set, how in the hell did you know that I was going to go to the wrong key? And and you knew what wrong key I was going to go to.
Yeah.
Just said, I don't know. It just hit me.
He was traveling on that wave in the magical universe, you know, that we get into. He was on your wave.
Yeah, wow.
I remember him with Stephanie too, Stephanie Haynes.
Oh, Steph.
Absolutely gorgeous. I remember one time Denise Donatelli and Julie and I were sitting at that place that Merle used to book, you know, out near the airport, and Stephanie and Tom. And Stephanie started singing a ballad. She just started singing. And Tom came in perfectly, of course, in the right key and everything. And I looked at the girls and they were both like,
Yeah.
It was so gorgeous.
Yeah. He was a magical guy who absolutely, you know, could drive his friends
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. I know. There were several times when I had to pick up the pieces, and he was so sweet about it, but he was so fucked up.
Absolutely. And yeah, Tom, he could apologize but he still, I mean, you're just going, oh my God.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a speedy, what a cookie.
And did you sing with Lou Matthews at all?
At least once or twice, you know, 100 years ago.
Yeah.
We connected because we are sort of our first in the Doodle Dum Pipers fan benefactor support Nancy Wilson.
Oh.
We toured with Nancy and did the Greek theater with her. And so Lou was her piano player later down the line.
Yeah.
When we were with Nancy, Don Trenner was her piano player, and then he left, and Ronell Bright, who wrote Sweet.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Sweet Pumpkin.
Yeah.
He was her piano player.
Yeah.
And Lou's a sweetheart, great player, great guy.
Yeah, beautiful player too.
One of the amazing things about what we've been lucky enough to be able to do is we have met so many incredible people.
Yeah.
People, passionate people, sweet people, kind people, you know. I don't know if you have all that many sweet, kind, wonderful people in, you know, in law. Or,
Yeah, I think you have to be really special and rise above to be sweet and kind in law.
it's just
Yeah,
music is just it's the greatest thing on the planet.
it is the greatest thing on the planet. I am so I count my lucky stars daily. It's just really really divine. Actually, yesterday, this is funny because I got a phone call from Ruth Price. There's a few little stories in here. I'll just be quick, but Sunday actually was in the morning was Roger Crane's memorial.
Right. Yeah.
So I went and I got up to sing with Karen Hammock and Jennifer Lightham and Paul Krybeck. And I just decided not to do any of the ballads that I brought. You know, I just thought it was at the Lighthouse and it just didn't feel right to do a beautiful tender ballad that Roger would have loved. So I decided to do Skylark as a bossa nova. And I counted it. Oh, it was Tamir, actually. I counted it off and I screwed up. I sang it too fast, you know, Skylark, da 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 da, you know, and I quickly realized that I had screwed up. So I stopped the band and I just started again, you know. I didn't really care because I'm too old to care. I don't care about it anymore, you know. It's like big deal. So, but Ruth Price was sitting there, and last night, so that was Sunday morning, and last night I get this phone call, a message, and she says, I just had to call you and, you know, just tell you, you know, it was like a support call basically. And it was so sweet. I was like, oh, that is so nice of you, you know. And, but what my show yesterday, I played you a little bit of these guys, Philo Machado, brilliant, globally known guitarist and singer, and his grandson, who's now 18, but they started like that Take 5 version he was like 11, I think. And he plays and he sings. He has like a kind of a little voice like this, you know, and Philo has kind of a more, but the two of them together, first of all, they're Brazilian. Yeah.
Enough
Right?
said.
Yeah, I know. Second of all, they're brilliant guitar players, great singers. They're full of the music. They are grandfather and grandson, and they've been doing this for years. So at the end, they played several songs, you know, kind of as a medley. Mike, I started weeping. I mean, really weeping. And I thought, oh my God, am I going to lose it totally? And, you know, I was trying to like, okay, I want to cry a little because it feels good, but I don't want to lose it. I was actually slaughtered the rest of the day. It was great. It was, it helped me relieve some tension, you know, from what's going on in the world. But once again, I just thought, God, we are so frigging lucky to have music, you know? Oh my God. It's just, it's food. It's vitamins. It's healing. It's everything, you know? We're just so lucky. Oh God.
And every once in a while we get paid.
Exactly. Somebody says, oh, good job.
Yeah.
$1.
It's I mean, I still go, you know, I'm still amazed, forgetting the pandemic, of how much music is down here in New
Yeah.
Segerstrom, however you pronounce it. You know, they've got 3 venues. There's the Barclay. I mean, it's just, you can see everything. I mean, I've got tickets to the Broadway shows, to the jazz series, to the, you know, all these things. Last night I went to, there's a summer jazz series that's now at the Stengo restaurant. Good restaurant. Wow, the food's wonderful.
Huh.
See Debbie Boone.
Oh, she's so good too.
She is, well, besides being absolutely adorable,
Yeah.
and a complete pro and just a sweet. She had, Trey Henry was playing and
Oh,
Byrds and a wonderful band. And she, she did a tribute to her mother-in-law, Rosemary Clooney,
oh, cool.
and actually played a tape of Rosemary singing. Oh, what was, oh shoot, what was the song? Standard, it's just a real up happy, it's Rosemary.
Come on to my house or something, or no,
No,
something.
it wasn't Pennies from Heaven, but it was something along those lines.
Yeah.
Gray cows are going to clear up, put on a happy face, that kind of message.
Yeah.
We call his son every night and sing it to him when he went to bed. And Debbie taped it. I guess Rosemary taped it, maybe made a tape so he would have it all the time.
Oh, wow.
She played the tape of Rosemary singing a cappella.
Oh,
So she had great stories, and she did a lovely tribute to Rosemary. And,
wow. That's nice. Sounds like a great show.
and she is. I mean, another one. She hugs the audience. She's
Yeah.
one thing that I feel lucky about, that I've always sort of had, minor arguments with friends. It's all about the music, man. Well, yeah, it is all about the music. I came up and was, in a sense, raised in show business.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to. One of my big complaints with jazz is that you got people, they're not introducing the band, they're not introducing themselves. Here's the music, and if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, man! I mean, these people have taken time out of their lives to come and see you. I remember when my best friend and ex-manager, Ronnie Waldorf, he and Barbara went to see Wynton Marsalis. This was years ago. Wynton was just like exploding. It was at the amphitheater. And he called me after the show, and he was upset. He said, this schmuck didn't even say hello. He didn't introduce a number. He didn't introduce anybody in the band. And he didn't say goodnight.
Wow.
He was trying to get used to Jack's Field and where he could put me and blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, hey, you're singing to the choir.
Yeah.
The show business is still two words. It's show and business. The music never drives anybody out. It's the business.
Yeah.
And part of it is, you've got to let people know that thank you for coming. Thank you for spending the money to come and see me. And I hope you enjoy it. And jazz, generally speaking, it's probably better today, but they don't do that. It's like, I'm super cool and here's the music, man. And wow, that's not, we're not enlarging the audience, And look at Dizzy Gillespie. My God, he was one of the funniest guys on the planet. Don't have to be that, but at least just sort of be thankful and let people know you're there.
Did you happen to see Paul Jost at Jack's?
I bought 2 of his albums. Though. He's excellent. He's very.
You would have liked him on stage.
I've seen him on YouTube. Yeah, I mean he sings a wonderful lyric. He interprets beautifully.
Real
For me, it's very Mark Murphy-ish.
He actually, to me, the first time I heard him, I thought of Tony Bennett too. He has a similar tone or something, but he's very he's, as far as a performer goes and involving the audience, he's very much that. He really wants to give you something,
Yeah.
and you feel it, and it's great. It's actually life altering, really, to see a performer like that. I mean, that's really, isn't that the job of a performer? I guess especially a vocalist, but
I went to see Cecile McLaurin Salvant.
yeah,
I'd heard so much about her, and I'd seen her on YouTube, and I was sort of on the fence, and I saw her. Excuse me. I just want to see, what she does, how she communicates. Wow, I mean, she is so with the audience. sharing, giving. The music is still, man, the music is still there, and
Yeah.
she's spectacular.
Yeah.
And that she chose not to scat very much. And she could do anything. I mean, you know, she really can do anything.
She's so varied. Wow.
Yeah, she just,
Yeah.
I was thrilled. I thought she was absolutely fabulous.
She's coming
Yeah, she can be down here. I've got tickets.
yeah, with Sullivan Fortner, who's like, God.
I wasn't thrilled with him, I'll be honest.
Sullivan?
Way too many notes.
Oh.
Hey, there's somebody singing up there. Come on.
I saw them do like an apartment concert for 2 hours when the pandemic started. That was friggin' brilliant. They played all different kinds of material.
Yeah,
Classical, show, French, jazz. It was everything, and they were brilliant at it all. It was really, and they did it for 2 hours straight.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously certainly a brilliant player. But,
yeah,
I like less.
Yeah,
less is more kind of a thing. So,
it's interesting playing with different people. I know one person who, well, it's interesting. It's an interesting process as a singer to experience these different accompanists and to kind of discover, well, first of all, one thing, you probably agree with this, but to discover after a while that you have to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully the two people doing what they do listen to each other and connect and have a relationship. But if you kind of depend on the person, or you're giving the other person their lead all the time, then it's actually not really happening. It's which is interesting. It's a good life lesson, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, one thing, when Tom and I first started together, and he started writing all these charts for me, rhythm section charts.
Yeah.
We talked about it. And he said, I'm writing these for, Joe Schmo in Dubuque, Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm writing these like you're going to be working with LA musicians. So I'm going to keep them basically simple. Maybe on some things there's a specific intro and a specific ending, but most of the stuff, just great changes. But he says, you're going to be on the road. I'm not going to be with you.
Yeah.
You're going to have players you can't stand. You're going to have players that you do like a lot. But they have to be able to play the chart. Jim and I, Liska and I, he was still writing for the LA Times. We went to see Jackie Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Come back at, was it the Lighthouse? I think it was the Lighthouse. And my God, he had Milchow, on piano,
Yeah.
Jim Julio on bass. I can't remember the drummer. Something I knew at the time. But,
It might have been Mason, what's his name, Mason, or McCurdy, or somebody like that.
Well, it would have been one of those guys.
I was thinking Harold Mason, possibly. I don't know.
Just talked to Harold.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah.
Great player.
Yeah.
So we went to see him, and this was like for Jackie Mason, it's a big thing, and pretty intense guy.
Yeah.
And he had arrangements all written by I think it was Michael Abini.
Yeah.
There was a chord every change. I mean, there was and the tempos were like this. Like one rehearsal that day. And Jackie Paris up there, and he started, he's counting these things off, and there's it's not going. There's some train wrecks, and these guys, Julio and Milchow, and they were great readers, but this stuff was flying by.
Yeah.
And Jackie stopped the show, and he was, what are you guys doing? You call yourself? I mean, it was like, oh my God, this is really happening. And he got fired that night.
Wow.
And I happened to be at Jim's the next day. I don't know, I was picking something up. And Jackie Paris called. And he was like, tears begging, Jim, can you get me another gig? Can you find me a club? Can you? I mean, it was like, oh my God, this is jazz. Oh, geez. And it was kind of heartbreaking. But I mean, it was a guy who sort of always, shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
And when you go on the road, I mean, I always used to tell my students this, when you get comfortable with somebody, if you're lucky enough to get a Tom Garvin or a Bill Wall
Yeah.
or whoever, Josh Nelson, everything's wonderful and they're there and they're supporting you. And but you're going to be working with, people who, in every town, there's usually good piano player, a good bass player, and a good drummer. LA, there's 40,000 of every instrument.
I know.
That's
an embarrassment of riches.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, plenty of times I worked with guys and it just was like, oh, that's the guy in Phoenix, who Sonny was a very good friend with. And he was a good songwriter. And he was a good player, but he wasn't my kind of player. The bass player and the drummer were awful. It's tragic. And I was there for 3 weeks at the Doubletree.
Oh, gosh.
And it was like, okay, I got two choices. I either just, this is what it is, do the best you can, or you start yelling and screaming and trying to, fight. No, you land here. And I chose the form. As I said, this is 3 weeks. I mean, nothing's going to get accomplished if they hate my guts.
Yeah.
And so this guy, the piano player, he was a very ethereal player, like landing on one at any time during the chart, sort of an affront. Oh, okay. I mean, those are the things you run into and have to adjust to. And
yeah,
in jazz, I did a thing in New York at Fat Tuesdays, and I had a Hall of Fame band. I had Jimmy Cobb, John Hicks,
wow,
Booker.
Wow.
They were with Clifford Jordan and Charlie Rouse.
Yeah.
And Marty Morgan got me a show in between their sets of Fat Tuesdays, and she got Rex Reed to come. Rex Reed, bless his heart, I love him. He has been a friend and a supporter from day one.
Yeah.
I've kept my letters from Rex. And Marty got him to come.
Yeah.
So I went over to rehearsal and everything was like, oh my God, I gotta get money. And what do you pay? I was used to paying guys, $50, right? That was the price in LA in 1982. They wanted 100 a piece. Whoa, okay, I got to get this money. Got to wire me this. Can't pay you till tomorrow. So I go over to Walter Booker's to rehearse with the trio. They can barely get through the charts.
Wow.
Walter was so wonderful. When I came in, he shook my hand, gave me a big bear hug, and he was just wonderful. John Hicks was very nice, very polite, and kind of shy. And Jimmy Cobb, I thought he hated me because he never said a word. Not a word. But I was still, my God, it's Jimmy Cobb. Jeez, I'm not going to bow. But I found out later that he was very, very shy and he didn't say a lot. He said, we really knew you, and so it wasn't going to happen. But I came out of that rehearsal to go get back to the apartment, shower, and get to Fat Tuesdays. And I meet my dear friend, I think Laney Crook. And we meet there. We're listening to the band. I want to get there to hear Charlie Rouse and Clifford Jordan in the band. And they're burning the house down. And like, oh my God. It's like, God, I hope they play like this for me. And we didn't even get through the whole set. First 3 or 4 tunes. And the rest of the set was just, well, here we go. Well, they played the hell out of it. Certainly wasn't perfect, but it was so musical. They kicked my ass. It was great. I just was flying.
Wow.
And but I was scared to death. I couldn't believe they didn't really read very well.
Yeah.
that was sort of the New York. That was out in LA. It's, you know, LA guys. Everybody reads and reads well.
Yeah.
Not so much in New York. Players, great players.
Yeah.
And they were all, including Jimmy Cobb, very nice and complimentary after.
It's so interesting, that whole subject, you know, of the experiences of being with musicians, you know, good, bad, reading, not reading. I mean, I remember one thing at my jam session, you know, that I ran for years. I remember really noticing that no matter who it was, what level singer got up, if they didn't really listen to the band kind of didn't sound that great, no matter who they were. And then as even a like a very newbie singer, if they got up and they were gingerly singing and listening to the band sounded great. It was like a whole, it was a whole family, you know, everything served the music. And even, you know, like if I would get up with student players, because I was listening to the band, they sounded better. So that was one thing, but that doesn't always happen, you know. I mean, there's so many things like what you experienced, you know, there's so many different experiences that you can have that, gosh, so many lessons, you know, so amazing.
I started this career with hair. Yeah, this is what happens. But yeah, I mean, that is, and that's hard to explain, you know, teaching at, you know, Musicians Institute for all those years.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, pop singers, rock singers, R&B singers, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have that same kind of experience because they would have a band.
Yeah.
And they, like when they took the jazz vocals class, come in and just, you know, sing with a piano player or a rhythm section. And it's, you know, it might not be what you practice in your room, you know. You gotta listen and you gotta be able to improvise, you know, in a ballad. You know, I don't mean static.
Yeah, just like deal with sudden changes or something, right?
So many great players, but they're not necessarily players that you particularly like musically to work with.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so different.
Yeah, remember that record Stephanie did with McCoy Tyner? That was really not good. She was not, huh?
Cedar Walton.
Oh, Cedar Walton. Yeah, right. That was not good. She didn't like it. It was not, he wasn't an accompanist. He didn't care about her. And, but a great player. Oh my God. You know, Cedar Walton, shit. By the way, Armando Compion is here.
Armando, one of my favorite singers. All
Great.
feel, all groove, and one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Man, you know, it's wow.
And Dennis Dow.
Oh my God, Dennis! Dennis, call!
You heard him, Dennis.
Hey, great guy, wonderful drummer. I love the way Armando sings. I mean,
Oh God, yeah.
ooh,
I know, he's so soulful, yeah. He was the one who turned me on to Take 5. Take 6, sorry. Take 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Sawyer, who played the guitar solo, and Dan turned me on. I remember it was at the Grove School, and it was the end of a rehearsal. I was going to do a project with Tim Hauser.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was producing me, and so I was looking at, you know, more commercial material, trying to reach a wider audience. Blah blah blah. and after the rehearsal, I was just running down some tunes and some charts and see if these things were. Dan, who's a vocal group fanatic, and he knows him. He knows Clark. He knows all you. He said, "You got to hear this group." Okay, great. He said, "It's going to change your life." Well, come on, man. heard the high-lows. Here's Unlimited, come on. It was in a Dick Grove thing, and so we had some big speakers in there.
Oh God.
Put it on and turn it up a little bit, and it was take 6. It changed my life. I was absolutely blown away. You know, it was like Gene Perling on steroids. It was, oh, where did Gene Perling get the funk? It was,
Yeah, totally incredible. And they were kind of the first out there, you know. I don't know if they were the first to do it, but they were definitely the first kind of that were promoted out into the world for that.
I've never, you know,
Yeah.
saw a cappella vocal group. I think at all, really. I can't even think of one.
Huh.
I mean, maybe somebody would do an a cappella number in the middle of a show, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That wow, I don't remember ever hearing that. Yeah, they're
Incredible.
spectacular. They're just spectacular.
So we haven't really touched on Musicians Institute. Well, between the time of Dick Grove and Musicians Institute, there was some time, right? There was a few years.
Well, that was an interesting part of my life, because when Grove closed, it was June of 92. I got a lot of the students, you know, as private students. So for a minute there, I was actually making a little more money than I was making at Dick Grove's.
Yeah.
But then, you know, Thanksgiving hit and everything stopped.
Yeah.
He's going someplace else. And I remember Elaine and I sitting around the dining table. And, boy, you know, what am I going to do here? And, you know, we talked about, well, you know, maybe I could go back to school and get a bachelor's degree. And I said, well, you know, geez, by then, I mean,
Yeah.
50 years old. And I mean, are we going to move to Yazoo City, Mississippi to teach a vocal jazz program? I mean, no, you know, we're here. The house is paid for. Come on. So it was really tough, a scary time.
Yeah.
It really did not know what I was going to do. And that's when I got the call in November from MI that their program kind of exploded, and the 2 people who were causing the major problem were fired, rehired the next day. But the program director was told he will not be the program director. But they were both rehired by Pat Hicks. He was a nice guy. He had a nice heart. And I know that Ralph Humphrey is the one who recommended me. And thank you, Ralph, because it saved our lives. I mean, it just saved our lives.
Yeah.
And so they brought me in. I met with Tom Bartlett, who's the head of running the school at the time.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we'd like to see you do a class. So I brought my piano player over from Grove, and we did a performance class with the students. And they were checking me out, and I was checking them out, and I was hoping, oh God, I hope I get this gig, you know. And I did, and they hired me, and it was, you know, 22 years later, I was retiring and heading down to Newport Beach.
Wow.
It was an amazing experience, because it was, you know, it was huge. I mean, our biggest year, geez, we had somewhere between 175 and 200 vocal students. The school was exploding. This was after the school was closing. Pat and Becky, it was closing. They were broke. And then the Japanese school came in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we just started building and building. And now we had a press team of sorts. But it was a great experience, because it really, I mean, I had to deal with way more. I had to create a new program, a new vocal department. I had some great help with a dear friend and teacher there, Les Coulter and Joey Barkley. They helped me. They were great help. Tracy Lewis was my right hand. Still one of the great loves of my life.
Did I work there with you? I feel like I did a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
You might have met Tracy.
Yeah.
She and I wrote a book together, Vocal Harmony, and then she married a guy from Norway, and we finished the book the night before she left for Norway.
Oh my God.
Last little bit of recording for the book. And she's still one of my dearest friends. When I go over there, that's who I stay with.
I remember always kidding your wife about the gorgeous international 20-year-olds who were coming up to you and giving you hugs. I remember kidding her about that. Oh, I know. That was hysterical. And Elaine was like, yeah. I
always say to me, you're just their father away from home. Which was basically the truth. We're just low-paid psychologists.
Yeah, but you have a lot of children out there who love you, Gosh.
Boy, and we had the level of talent.
Yeah.
Was pretty wonderful. I mean, believe me, in those 175, 200 students, there were plenty of students who this was their year. And I mean, that was part of my philosophy. I want this to be the best year of their life.
Yeah.
They get to sing in, P100, our big room, which sat 500 people in.
Great room.
Rock band and be rock stars for a day. And I mean,
yeah,
the experience had to be a great positive experience.
Yeah.
Because the business will beat you up and you'll be out soon enough.
Yeah.
We had some amazing talent. We had Gabby Moreno, Latin Grammy Award winner, co-wrote the theme song for Parks and Recreation. Just a great talent and one of the sweetest young ladies on the planet. Doing great. Maya, what was her name? Maya Beckman, who went by Maya. She was bigger in Japan than Madonna.
Wow.
She was huge, and she's still doing very well in Sweden. Joachim Kahns, the lead singer for Hammerfall, one of the biggest metal groups in the world. And they all had their issues. All wonderfully nice people.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, Joachim had this amazing voice and was just as stiff as a wall. Kidding and joking. He sent me a picture about two and a half years later on the computer of him in front of 40,000 people. And he was like that. And I welled up.
Yeah.
With it. But to see him open up and so, find himself and just, you've experienced it. It's sometimes it's just overwhelming.
It is. Yeah. And yeah, it's really a beautiful thing to see people get to a vulnerable place and come out of it with something valuable and actually blossom with it. It's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly got to the point that I went from being, a singer who taught a little bit to a teacher who sang a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was really completely happy with that.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, it just seems so much more fulfilling working with people who have potential and no confidence, or have confidence and no potential.
Which can work too.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Somebody with great talent who, can't get their head out of their ass, they're just trying to find a way to wake them up and get them to understand that what, has been granted to them.
Yeah.
It's it's a wonderful teaching. It's just, that should be absolutely one of the highest paid professions on the planet. That's how screwed up we are on this planet,
So true, man. So true. Yeah. I don't want to go away without playing Blackberry Winter because it's just it's such a beautiful song. And, you don't hear this song all that much,
It's just so sad. It's just.
Who was the writer again? It was,
Ernest McGlowan.
oh
And
yeah,
Wilder is the co-writer.
Alec Wilder, yeah.
Wilder literally wrote one line on the bridge.
You're kidding.
Ernest had written the whole song, and
Oh.
he just was stuck, and he wasn't happy with this line. And Alec lived with Loomis and his family for like
Oh,
3 years. That's a whole nother
oh, wow. Interesting.
eccentric man
Huh.
who hung on to every penny. And when he died, he had millions.
Wow.
Eccentric guys, you know. But yeah, he wrote one line on the bridge.
Interesting.
Obviously, it means a lot different to me now than it did then. Love the song.
Yeah, okay. Well, here it is. Blackberry Winter.
Blackberry winter comes without a warning, just when you think that spring's around to stay. So you wake up on a cold, rainy morning and wonder what on earth became of me. Blackberry winter only lasts a few days, just long enough to get you feeling sad when you think of all the love that you wasted on someone whom you never really had. I'll never get over losing you, but I've had to learn that life goes on, and the memories grow dim like a half-forgotten song, till a blackberry winter reminds me you are gone. And I get so lonely, most of all in springtime. I wish I could enjoy the 1st of May, but I know it means that blackberry winter is not too far away. I'll never get over losing you, but I've had to learn that life goes on, and the memories grow dim like a half-forgotten song, till a blackberry winter reminds me you are gone. And I get so lonely, most of all in springtime. I wish I could enjoy the 1st of May, but I know it means that blackberry winter is not too far away.
Wow, man. Now that is some. Liska says that's his, like, yeah, he just loves that.
Tom Garvin.
Tom Garvin, Mike Campbell.
Thank you.
Mike Campbell, man.
I love he was so upset with his solo, and I loved it. I thought, because he made a little little thing when he came down the first time, the high part, a couple of notes together, which then he had. He of course
Made something out of it. It
made something out of it.
was gorgeous.
It was perfectly imperfect, and I didn't want to change a thing.
Yeah, I actually loved that part.
Me too,
Yeah.
because it was Tom Garvin. It was perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, that was really beautiful performance of both of you. It was perfect. It was great. Just totally satisfying and beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always think of you singing that song too. Jim, you are correct. Oh, by the way, Adam Levine is here too. He says hi.
Oh my God, Adam. Grove School. He was the head of the guitar department, the Grove School. Beautiful player.
Yeah.
He's the king of Paso Robles now. Adam works
Go, Adam.
all the time, because they have all the little wine things, and I mean, he's doing singles and duos, and he's a great player. Jeez.
I've asked him to be on the show several times, but he's too busy.
Yeah.
So Adam, maybe your time will open up.
I tell you one of my favorite memories.
Yeah.
The first time we walked into the Sullivan studio, I welled up. I mean, I got teary-eyed. That's a show that we never missed on Sunday nights. And to actually be doing it. And we did a show, we thought it was going to be with the Beatles, but it was their last show. And, Sullivan signed them for 4 shows for $10,000, period. Because they were unknowns at the States. And then they just exploded.
Oh.
And they weren't going to do the last show. So they sent the film, Hello, Goodbye. And we followed the film. And just standing behind the scrim, listening to that audience scream, you couldn't hear yourself think. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. His favorite memories, I think.
Oh my God.
So,
When I was, I don't know, it must have been 10, I don't know, maybe 10. So when I was 10, it was 63. I don't know if that was the time period, but my dad owned a big theater in East Boston. And anyway, we saw a few people there. Rita Pavoni was there, Anyway, but
forever.
I know. But I went to see the Beatles movie there. It was packed with screaming girls. And I was just young enough to go, what is going on? I did not get it at all. I was like, Why is everybody screaming, you know?
Well, that's what drove them out of the business. Listening to the music. Reading an article on John Lennon at the Shea Stadium concerts.
Yeah.
He said, that's it. Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. We're just screaming. And that's, you want some. Hey, we're making music here. Come on.
Hey, shut up, will you? Well, believe it or not, it's 2 hours.
Where does the time come from?
It's not where does the time go, it's where does it come from.
This has been so much fun.
I know, I love it.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
God, do you fool around?
I don't know, I'll have to ask my husband.
Yeah. Let's talk here. This has been great.
Great to see you and great to hear. I'm sure there's more stories, but anyway, in 2 hours we fit in a little bit of time, huh?
It was wonderful. I enjoyed every minute. I'm retired,
Really?
I got me some time.
I just wanted to tell everybody that tomorrow is a really great singer-songwriter I came across, Nikki Schreier. She's South African, but she lives in Canada.
Oh.
She's really good. Oh, hi, Tim Weston.
Tim Weston! The son of Jonathan and Darlene Edwards.
Exactly. And one of the producers of like a Desert Island record of mine, a tribute to Rodgers and Hammerstein. Have you ever heard that one?
I'm sure I am.
So gorgeous. Every song is a different artist and a different arranger. Like one of my favorites is Mark Murphy singing This Nearly Was Mine with a Nan Schwartz arrangement.
Oh, wow.
And Nancy King's on there with Van Dyke Parks arrangement.
Wow. Maybe I haven't heard that.
Well, I'll be sure to connect you up, man.
And he lives with one of my favorite singer-songwriters
Ever.
People of all time.
Ever.
Incredible Shelby Fund.
Yeah. And Tim is a great guitar player.
Oh, he's a killer.
Yeah. And a great person. I interviewed him. Haven't interviewed Shelby. She was a little, she's shy. I love Shelby. She's made me cry many times.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
About, what's the old joke about, it takes 10 things to be a star and talent is number 47. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah. She had this song that she used to sing that she wrote called Hound Dog, which was about an old woman who cursed her family, so she was difficult to get close to, and how she was like an old hound dog who wanted to be petted but would bite you. Oh God, I would absolutely fall apart whenever she sang that song.
Oh my God, I would go see that band every chance I got. Great band. The songs were just incredible, and she just was wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story about her. So, but enough about me. Yes, Tim. But so, my sisters. You probably knew it too because you're probably how old my sisters would be. But so Shelby had the hit "Got an Angel on My Shoulder." Big, huge hit. However, totally screwed over with the money, totally. And so while it was a big hit, she and her husband at the time, her husband had a birthday or Christmas. It was Christmas or his birthday, and she went out and she had $10. She wanted to buy him a present, and she heard her song over music, just to rub it in. But she and her husband went to sing at a women's prison. And while they were performing, there was a woman who said, "Are you the one who did Angel on My Shoulder?" And she said, yes, I am. And she sing it. So she started singing it, and all the women started singing it with her.
Oh, wow.
And she said it totally melted away any animosity she had about that song. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that is beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Of course, the part about having a hit record and not making a penny is not beautiful.
That is really not beautiful, but yeah.
With Terry Fisher, whose dad was Carl Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
And she had a girls group. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the girls group. They had a big hit record called Popsicles Icicles.
Oh.
They didn't make a penny.
Ugh. So many stories about that and how people died penniless, and yeah, lots of crapola. You know, by the way, this week, I can't remember which day, it might be Friday, but Marilyn King's daughter, Jen,
Jen. She was one of my students at Grove.
She's great. She's a great singer, songwriter. She's going to be at Vitello's this week. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, she's, and I love Marilyn.
Yeah, Jen Staves. Anyway, so Thursday through Sunday is archives. So Thursday, great drummer from Chicago named Jack Mouse. Friday, John DeVersa, great, composer, educator, trumpet player. Saturday, wonderful singer. I don't know if you know John Finley.
I don't.
So do you remember that group in the 70s called Rhinoceros?
I do.
He was the lead singer. And he lived here for a while, and then he moved to Canada, and he's still a great singer. He's kind of like a blues, jazz, R&B, rock singer, absolutely great still, in every way. So he's on Saturday, and then Sunday, Iona Morris, who's a singer, mostly an actress and a director. She directed a bunch of Black Like Me shows. And then next week, we're just going to keep going. Patricia Leao, Ricky Kaj, and Jennifer Barnes on Wednesday. Yeah.
Talking about musical history.
Right? Oh, my God. Yeah. Her father was the arranger for the Hi-Los.
No.
Oh, he played with the Hi-Los.
He was a Hi-Lo.
Oh, he was a Hi-Lo. Well, didn't he arrange some of it or no?
Gene Furley did all the arranging.
Oh, okay. Like I said, her father was a singer in the Hi-Los, didn't arrange a thing.
But had one of the great careers in history because he was a brilliant singer.
Great horn player.
And a great horn player. He had 2 separate careers because he did sessions as a singer and as a horn player, all the reeds.
Yeah, he was really a great horn player. Yeah, just great.
And he used to sit in with the MI big band with him.
Oh, really?
Dave Bosie ran the band. And there's Don Sheldon. Oh my God, it's Don Sheldon, for God's sake. Paid about $1.40 an hour. Just one keep his chops up.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart of a guy, and what a just incredible singer. I once asked him at a Gen convention. It was a tribute to Gene Furley.
Yeah.
I said, my question was, what do you do to warm up? How do you keep your voice in shape? We just sang all the time. I never warmed up. We just sang all the time. And Debbie Boone told a real quick story last night about her mom, or her mother-in-law, Rosemary Clooney, never warmed up.
Really?
She had one good cough and she was ready to go. She said she never warmed up.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that wild? I would die. I remember Rebecca Paris eating an Italian sub, drinking a Courvoisier, putting it down, grabbing the mic, and singing like an angel. I would never be able to do that.
Sarah Vaughan. When I opened for Sarah Vaughan,
yeah,
I stayed off ice cream for 2 months. I was just trying to, allergies, blah, blah. And there's Sarah eating like a 5-course meal, doing a little toot, and drinking Courvoisier, and singing like a bird.
Yeah.
So, she couldn't talk and she could barely walk. The boy, she could still do that.
I don't know, man. Probably Billie Holiday was the same, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I would imagine. Remember that tape that was going around for a while of she and Jimmy Rolls and this, practicing, and she was talking like, and then she sang, and it was like heaven. It was gorgeous, but it was the difference of her and then singing. It was incredible.
I don't know if we have any time, but I just saw a thing on PBS.
Yeah.
Young woman who is deaf, and she is a professional singer, and she plays the ukulele.
Wow.
She hadn't been deaf from birth, but she lost her hearing at a very young age. She sings barefooted, so because she has a percussionist guy, so she can feel time. And her pitch is unbelievable.
Oh.
Like a Joni Mitchell kind of voice, that folky. I still don't quite get it. She does have a tuner that when she sings a note, she just lines it up on the tuner.
Yeah.
Feels it in her throat and marks her throat. This is where I feel an A. This is where I feel a D.
Wow.
It's an amazing. The show was called Humans.
Wow, Humans. That's an amazing story.
I was blown away, and of course, pretty emotional to see this.
Yeah.
Love and passion and discipline and all this stuff. Wow.
Wow.
It's Sunny. Sunny knew her. Not I personally, but she knew her.
You have her.
Talked on the phone like the day after, and I said, "Wow, I just saw this thing." Is she in Colorado? I said, "Yeah, I think she is." Oh my God, yes.
Wow.
Amazing. I'll let you go now. I love you.
I love you too. All right. Say hi to your daughters for me, would you?
Absolutely. And my grandchildren.
Well, I don't know them yet, but you can say hi for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.